I wanted to start off in saying that I'm a very big fan, actually.
Thanks, dude.
I've been I I was trying to remember where I first found you kind of thing. And then I
Uh,
think it was from, were you in like a Casey Neistat? Like, were you a sound, like a song in that?
yeah, they used a couple songs. I think they used like Head in the Clouds and they used another one or two.
I think it was the Soup song. I
Yes,
think
right. They
this
used Super
this
Sunday.
the Soup
Yeah, yeah.
song got me. I was like, what is this? I want more.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that me and my friend Liz wrote that song together. The whole soup thing was her idea. The like voice memo type thing you hear at the end is like her original like freestyle over the beat.
Who's Liz?
She's my friend from college, and she's featured on the
Gotcha.
song. She's this singer on the song there.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found that, and then I was like, oh, I gotta go check this out. And I think then I saw Amazing Part One, which is freaking. That's a good song, man. And the
Thanks,
music
dude.
video, bro, that was like one of the most like if I'm like a creative music video, that comes to mind like as one of the first ones. I was like, this kid that I've never seen someone do that before. Like, you want to explain what kind of happened in that one and how it kind of came to fruition?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. That was so my brother makes all my music videos, and that was his idea.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah,
Shout
when we
out,
were
bro.
coming up, yeah, for real, big shout out. Huge idea of his. But yeah, when I was coming up on my graduation, I had like just put out the album like a month before that. And he was I was in Colorado and he was still at home in Vermont. So he was going to be coming out for my graduation. So we were like, oh, we should shoot a video. So he was like, okay, we should shoot like an actual video. But also, I had like a shorter idea. Like, I think if for one of your shorter songs, we should just like film you at your graduation and just make it like a
Mm,
quick clip. And yeah, so that was going to be like the secondary video that we shot that week. But then we didn't end up having time to shoot a primary video. And the footage for that video ended up being like a lot cooler than we thought it was going to be.
yeah, no, it was definitely. I would even call it revolutionary.
Thanks. Yeah, I think he fucking killed it. It was a really sick idea.
What
Um,
what's your brother's role been in this whole process that you've been going through? So he's go ahead, sorry.
oh no, you're good. I was waiting for you to finish there.
Oh yeah, just like his role in it. How has he kind of helped in the process? Is he also an artist or is he mostly on the video side and
Yeah, well, he is an artist like in way of video.
in
Like
way of
he's
video?
yeah.
So
So
you're a
he's
house
a
of artists.
videographer. Yeah, yeah. My sibling's a poet too, so the
No,
three of us are
okay, so what's going on there, man? You're raised in, you said Vermont?
in Vermont. Yeah, mostly,
Okay.
kind of all over the place, but mostly Vermont.
Interesting. Because I saw, so you wear that Wisconsin hoodie all the time. I was like, maybe he
Yeah.
lives like North Wisconsin.
No,
No.
I've never been to Wisconsin.
So,
And I disappoint a lot of people in that hoodie, but my mom got it for me at a thrift shop for Christmas one time, and it's just like a really nice weighted hoodie, and I like it a
mm,
lot.
yeah. So I repped the Iowa today
Oh,
for that
nice.
reason.
Are you from Iowa?
No, I'm from Illinois.
Word. Oh, right. Okay, so same thing.
So they're
Word.
kind of, yeah, I was doing the same thing for you there. But
Yeah.
no, so what do you think growing up in your that household, like why did it inspire so many artists?
I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like our mom was always just pretty supportive of whatever we ended up wanting to do. Like, not that we all like my brother Kayhl kind of knew in high school that he wanted to do like photo and video shit, but like I took a longer time. I think I didn't really know about music till like my senior year of high school. I guess he was kind of doing it in middle school more. And my sibling Ty went to art school, so yeah, I don't know, just like support, and also I think like we were kind of just wanted to like you know do what sounded fun. I think we all found a lot of fun in art. So
That's awesome. And so you go to school in Colorado, and then
mhm.
you leave school, and then you end up in New York City. Has
Yes.
that has that always been a dream? Was that kind of in the plan?
Yeah, totally, for sure. And my mom's whole side of the family's from Brooklyn, so like it was
Mm,
kind of like I grew up coming here and thought this was a city, and then I thought other cities were going to be like it, and then when I went to other cities, I was like, oh wait, New York's just the best city.
no,
So
I like growing up or close to Chicago. So like
word.
you'll go to that, I'll go to Chicago, and then I'll like go to Minneapolis and be like, this is a city, like, I mean,
Yeah, totally.
New York's like obviously like way bigger and more influential than Chicago, but like you can go to cities
Well,
that,
not yeah, no, Chicago's huge and a big, like Chicago's another. I feel like I consider three U.S. cities as like cities, and I feel like it's Chicago, New York, and L.A. But L.A.
yeah,
is a weird one too because it's so spread out. I don't know. Just I feel like New York was like the biggest, and Chicago sort of feels like the closest to New York without being New York, because it feels like condensed the way that New
mm-hmm.
York is.
Yeah, it's just weird when you go to a city and it doesn't have big buildings. Like what? like
Yeah,
like
right.
why aren't the
Totally.
buildings 100 stories tall? That's weird.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you've been in New York for a few years now, and
Yeah.
you lived the entire pandemic in New York, right?
Yes.
How the hell's that been, man?
Good. Like as good as it could be. We got caught up in Vermont because we were gonna play a show there, like right when the pandemic started. So I was there for the first couple months of the pandemic, but then came back down here. Um, yeah, it's been. I feel like I just feel. I don't know. I hope this doesn't sound insensitive, but I guess I just feel honored to have um, gone through the pandemic in New York with other New Yorkers.
Mm,
Um, and like it sucked, and I don't know. I feel like it's a weird thing to talk about sometimes because like obviously it's something we've all experienced, but for me to like talk about it as anything other than negative when so many people have died is like really weird. But it obviously has just had an impact on our lives that like is in large part negative, but I've also had like some positive things come out of it, and I've felt my love for the city grow a lot, seeing the ways that people came together to support other folks, and just like yeah, just seeing people be really respectful, but also like live their lives, and I feel like that's kind of how New York is. Like you just kind of whatever is happening, you still have to live your life, and so you
mm.
just figure out how to do it, and you just keep doing it.
Yeah, that is interesting. I definitely felt a little bit of that too. Like I think I would say
Yeah,
most people in a way are a little bit and grateful for not the pandemic, but maybe the situation. It kind of made everyone take a step back and kind of reevaluate in a way, which I think
totally.
was
Are you
probably.
in Are you in New York also?
No, I'm not in New York right now.
Word.
No, I'm in Illinois right now.
Oh, word. Okay,
Yeah,
word.
yeah. So I grew up in Illinois, and then I was out west for a while. So I've
Cool.
for like a few years, and then I came back to Illinois during the holidays and decided I would stick around at the folks' house for a little bit and just
Nice.
try to figure out, like where am I going? Like I was trying to hit that reset again. Like I think a lot of my life I was dedicated, like my thing growing up was like running, like track. And so
Yeah.
I was like very focused on that. And to a point where like a week ago, I realized I was like, when those people ask you like, oh, what are you gonna be when you grow up? And then you say, oh, I don't know. And they're like, oh, don't worry, you're young. I like
Yeah.
never thought about what I would actually do with my life. I was
Mm,
so focused on one thing. I was like, what the hell am I going to do? And so like, I
yeah.
think this past few months has been like, I need to try to become like at least start becoming like a man in a way, like taking care of
Yeah,
myself, finding my own footing. And
totally.
I think being at home has been a good help because you're not fighting, oh, I need to pay rent or I need to pay for food or I need to pay, like, like
Yeah.
it can kind of give you a little bit of a boost in a way. So I think I found
Yeah.
a lot of benefit from that. It's only been like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good amount. Yeah, no, totally. Being able to like kind of settle down and establish a basis before you try and tackle like actually becoming an adult is like an important thing to be able to do sometimes.
What brought you into the world of music? Like what was the catalyst? What was why do you keep pursuing? Why do you pursue something that's so difficult?
Totally. That's a good question. I think so I'll answer those like two parts separately. So one, what got me into it was I've always like loved music and loved dancing, but like didn't really like, I had a bunch of different things, a million different things that I wanted to do when I grew up as I was little, and I'd like try a thing and then move on and try a thing and move on and try a thing and move on. And it usually had to do with like being like the best at something or like super famous or something like that. And I didn't ever become the best at anything. So it was like, kind of frustrating. But then I started getting really into electronic music in high school. Like my freshman year, a family friend made me a like mixtape of like rave music, and I learned about the idea of raves, and I like went to like quote unquote raves at like the like South Burlington venue. And then in my junior year, a guy I was on the cross country team with, the captain, his name was D, introduced me to like, why am I blanking? Fucking Pretty Lights.
Oh, okay.
You know Pretty Lights?
No.
Okay, word. He's an electronic guy. I don't know if it's like super my thing anymore, but it was like really exciting at the moment. I feel like the technical term is like trip hop or glitch hop maybe. Ooh. But I was like super into it, and that was around the time when Skrillex's first step was getting really big too. And I was just super excited by like the energy around electronic music, and Skrillex has been a huge artist in my life over time too. So I started wanting to like make electronic music. So my senior year, I ordered like a laptop, and I got like the intro version of Ableton or whatever, and kind of putzed around and was really frustrated and didn't get it right for a long time. And there was, maybe a year or two where like music could have been another of those things that like I would like had a spurt of energy and was like, this is going to be my thing, but then it would like pass and it wouldn't end up being my thing. But for whatever reason, it just like stuck, and it kept being something I came back to. And then around my sophomore year of college, I started rapping, and I had always like loved rap music as a kid and everything, but like had kind of not listened to it, because obviously like it's so much of popular music, and I was super into a lot of the stuff I heard, but like I didn't know that well how to like connect with it for a long time. And then I was starting to finally really kind of get it sophomore year of college. And so then I fell kind of back in love with rap and started wanting to rap myself. And so that's been going on since then. Yeah. And then what was the other part? Why do I keep doing it?
Yeah. Why are you doing something that's so hard? So like, why are you inclined to that?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I feel like I had a better answer when you first asked, and now I kind of have a lame answer, which is just that like, I just keep wanting to do it.
You were saying, you were saying how earlier you're saying that you have like this kind of frustration of like trying to get famous at things. and then it not working.
Yeah, or like I did at least when I was young, and like now I still have it, but like it's more focused on like mostly music and like a little bit of other shit. But like, you know, I think. Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about it.
I don't know. I just like, for whatever reason, I've always wanted attention and, you know, to be famous and go on a tour bus and shit like that. And as I've, you know, seen more of life, I've kind of tempered my want of that. So like I, you know, don't know if I want to be like sell out arenas type shit necessarily, like maybe, but like I'm not trying to be like on a reality show type shit, you know. Which I guess I never really wanted. I didn't want to be famous for nothing, but just like I guess I've always wanted to be like really good at something and have everybody know it, which is like really kind of self-centered. But what I've kind of found is that like leaning into it is the most helpful, because it's a feeling that hasn't really gone away. And I feel like there's no use in like trying to push it down, and so I'll just like embrace it and then just be humble in other aspects of my life, you know.
You kind of gotta live it, you know. Like,
yeah, totally.
I'm sure Kanye's not the most humble person, you know.
Right, totally.
No, it's in high school. I think a lot of people felt this like, oh, life's meaningless kind of vibe, but for whatever reason, I always felt like, dude, you're meant to do something extraordinary. Like I don't know what the fuck it is, man, but you got to do something.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I've watched since high school ended all these kids that, you know, like they all had these goals and ambitions, and then they leave high school and then all of a sudden like they kind of start to slip away, fade away and stuff like that. But I mean, they're still doing things that they, you know, are admirable and probably leading them to like stable jobs, but it's just like never been my thing. And I'm like always been trying to find like, how do I find a way to not be under like the big man's thumb and like have him telling me what to do. So that kind of pushes me into a lot of, you know, just weird things, or like podcasting, or like I don't know what the fuck, whatever the hell, just like trying things out all the time to see like what could possibly work on it. But
trying things out is like the main thing.
Like I know like you definitely have this desire to be famous and like on the top, but like how do you manage that mentally of like am I even like worth making it? Like, am I good enough? Like, am I working hard enough?
Totally. I think it's kind of like a daily thing, where like some days I'll feel really good and some days I won't. And I think like the truth is that like, it's that saying, like the proof is in the pudding, you know, like I'm not going to know until I know. But in the meantime, I know that I want to keep trying. So that's just like the thing that's driving me, I guess.
And what are you working on in your everyday or like lately that's been that thing that you're driving forward?
Yeah. I've been working on making a demo for my third album, which has been like really, it just feels nice when like, you know, you like kind of try and make songs and then it sucks and then it doesn't suck and you just go back and forth so much. But then after a while, you kind of look back and you're like, oh, I've got like a collection of songs. And that is a really good feeling. And so I'm just trying to like kind of pull everything together and record some vocals and focus it into a demo. And I'm trying to get it around to some labels and see if anybody has any interest.
Shit.
Yeah.
So do you have like any time frame of when they would be coming out, or not really yet?
Coming out, no, because you know, if it would, I'm trying to get the demo done in the next month or so, but then I have, you know, I don't know that much about like the process of shopping it to labels or how long that would take, and then like if I'm successful, like how long that release process would be. So I don't know. I think if if it goes like the rest of the year and I have no luck with that, I think I'd probably just like polish it up and be like, fuck it, I'm self-releasing again, but we'll see.
Where do you even start? Like if you're like, yo, I want to get signed. Like how do
Yeah.
you what the hell do you do, man?
I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine. Like there's all these like tips and everything that people will try to give you. And like if you Google it, there's people who like act like they know what's up and talk about it. And I don't know. I think the truth is like if somebody's taking the time to write like an article about it, then like one, they're probably not as like, I don't know, maybe that's rude. I feel like there's definitely people who kind of know what's up, but I feel like it tends to be kind of narrow-minded when people try and give advice. And I feel like it tends to be like really specific to their experience.
Mm,
And like not necessarily indicative of how all of it works. Cause like, yeah, it's like labels and like big labels especially are kind of like a machine and it's like very corporate and everything, but like at the end of the day it's still people there, and if you like hit somebody the right way, like I'm sure it's gonna happen right for you, you know. So I feel like the main thing that I'm trying to do is just pursue it in the way that makes sense to me. And yeah, so I'm gonna try like, you know, a little bit of an unconventional reach out to start with, like kind of cold letter sending or emailing or whatever. But then if that doesn't work, I might, you know, I don't know, try and find a manager or something like that. I don't know. I
wow.
feel like everybody's just kind of feeling their way in the dark, you know? And that at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Like, even if you have like these like big tips from people or whatever.
Mm-hmm. How does being so you're a white rapper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that affect the way you're perceived by labels?
I have no clue. I couldn't tell you yet. I haven't,
Okay.
yeah, I haven't really successfully gotten a response from any label. Like, I haven't gotten a positive or negative response from any label ever. Like, most of my emails like don't get replied to.
Yeah, it's
I don't
usually
know.
what
I'd
it is.
imagine. What's that?
Usually what it is for most things.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd imagine there's like a lot of different responses you'd get. Like some that would like be favorable to you, but in a shitty way. Some
How
that would,
shitty? How
I don't
so?
like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like if, like, obviously, like, you know, uh, white people have like a lot of power in corporate America, and like, I don't know, I feel like it's just kind of easy to push the white rapper thing in some ways, you know, like it's kind of like a kitsch that people are like, oh, we can still market you as like a cute white dude or whatever. So I'm sure there's like people that are, I don't know. I truly don't know. So I guess I'm just trying to muse on corporate America without really knowing how it pertains to the label industry. But I guess just like there's probably some ways it would give you a leg up and some ways that it wouldn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've noticed that you have a pretty unique sound, I would say.
Thanks.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like it's like you're not like copying anyway. It's like it feels pretty damn original, which is really cool. And
Thank you.
I think maybe you're just before your time, dude.
Yeah. I don't, you know, there's, I'd be okay with that. You know, I'd be okay with like some recognition and not, you know, like I think some like I feel like Vince Staples is kind of ahead of his time type thing, and like he doesn't get all the recognition he deserves and things like that. You know, if that ends up being what it is, I'm fine with that, and I'm kind of happy, and I can pat myself on the back for that too. You know.
Sweet, man. Um, one that I did notice. So, is your most recent song Bobby?
Yes.
Yes.
When I also put out a song with a Japanese band called Ilya, but I think that was before Bobby.
Okay.
I think that was a couple months before Bobby. So yeah, I think Bobby's my most recent.
I did it was a little bit I don't know, just seemed a little bit more different. I liked the instrumental on it. I think that was cool at the
Thanks.
beginning.
Yeah.
Do you wanna do BTS with me? Do you wanna like walk me through it if I play it? The
Oh,
music
sure.
video?
Yeah. Let me start out by, well, I mean, I guess I'll just say it, and if it gets taken down, it gets taken down. But that's a sample.
Oh. Whatever.
Yeah. Word. Cool.
Okay, I'll just share it. Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay. Word.
Okay. Let me know. You can hear it, right?
Hold on.
Can
I
you
can't
hear?
hear anything. No.
Oh, damn.
If you want to, I can walk through the video because I can see the video. So if you want to talk about that, we can go for it. And here, how about before that, I'll just walk you through the beat real quick.
Okay.
So it samples a song called Bobby by Alex G.
Gotcha.
And it's not cleared or anything, so I hope he doesn't get mad at me, but he seems like a pretty, indie forward guy. So I feel like he'd at least like reach out and be like, you suck, take that down, rather than like suing me or something. Okay. But it's it's a really beautiful song called Bobby. And it's him and his girlfriend plays violin with him. And so the string parts are her. I think I'm right on that. It could be a different person, but as far as I understand, that's who's doing the strings on it. And so like when I heard that loop, I was like, oh, that'd be fun to turn into a beat. But I was expecting it to be kind of I guess the beat itself is pretty dancey and kind of fun. And I guess the song is intense just because of the lyrics and everything. But I was just imagining like a country type banger type thing. And then when I like sped it up and put the 4 on the Floor house kick under it, it just like felt really good. And that's basically all the song is that loop with like a kick drum and then some other drums come in. The bass line itself is even from the sample. Like I just filter it in and out a little bit, so I take out the highs at some points and I take out the lows at some points. But yeah, it's basically just the sample and some drums. And then the lyrics were, I've never really been able to write a story before, like a cohesive story. So this was the first time I felt like I did that, which felt really fun to do. And it's, like a completely made up story. I've never been to Florida, or I've been to Florida, but, I don't know anything about Tallahassee. And
so this is not, this didn't happen in your life.
No. Yeah. It, I mean, I drew on like vague, or actually, I don't even know if I drew on anything from my life. I just like imagined being in this person's life and what it would feel like.
Gotcha.
And yeah, and it was because of the song Bobby by Alex G. There's a line where he's talking about the guy Bobby, and it's like, I'd leave him for you if you want me to. And I don't know, it just like it had me in a story mood and made me like just think about being able to write a story. So I just went for it.
Okay, should we play it?
Yeah, go for it.
So you're in this back of a storage van, right?
Yeah, so this is I was in the back of the truck that I was driving. I drove a truck for a food pantry for a year, and they let me use it for the video. And so that's me driving the truck, and then the shots in the back are. How
did you do the spinny shot like that?
That was, so my brother like filmed and directed the whole video. And we had one of those like tripods that have the like claw legs, and we wrapped it around the steering wheel. So that's my iPhone on the steering wheel for those shots. Yeah. And then in the back of the van, I just like set up my my phone and like picked it up and moved it around. The idea behind that shot was trying to be like it was like a Facebook, like your kind of unhinged friend posts like a Facebook video like calling out their ex or something like that, you know? And yeah, and then this is like, yeah, I was same as the song. I was just sort of stepping into this character that it felt like I was like driving the truck. I kind of had started connecting with like the idea of like a, you know, a fucking man or something.
Oh yeah.
But also some, you know, like the emotional side of that and how it can get like angry and I don't know. Just a lot of it just felt like I was trying to channel a character.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You getting emotional there?
Yeah, it like kind of fucked me up a little bit, you know, because I got really into it and I like it took me you know, a little bit to recover after.
Really? So you were feeling it?
Yeah, because like I don't know, if you're trying to like act like shit is super fucked up in your life, I feel like I was just imagining that shit was super fucked up in my life, and so I was drawing on like times when I've felt really shitty and like things that made me feel that way. So just kind of going through it a little bit.
A real actor.
Maybe the proof is in the pudding. We'll see. That'd be fun too someday.
Do you have any are you into that? You little acting chops maybe?
I don't have any acting chops, but I have a stupid dream of acting and stuff someday without having any practice. So
Oh really? What inspired that?
I think it's, you know, I just like I like performing.
Yeah.
I kind of like everything about it. And so yeah, I think it's part of that.
Have you always had that charisma, or is that something you kind of learned?
I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think if I did anything like exciting or acting like when I was a kid. I guess I've always been like a pretty energetic and show-offy dancer.
Oh yeah.
Like I always like would like to dance in front of people and shit like that. So probably
walk up to
something in
random
that.
strangers in New York. And
Yeah.
just...
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, maybe you could
Not
make a
strange,
couple
but,
pennies
like,
on the street, you know?
what's that?
You stand outside in the corner and just start jigging, put like your hat in front of you.
Yeah,
Make a
I
few
don't know.
bucks.
For some reason, busking never really appealed to me. I kind of was like, I either want to do it big or I don't want to do it at all. You know? Which music has kind of been the only exception to that, where I've been willing to like keep doing it even if nobody's like paying attention.
Why do you think music was that outlet that finally did it for you?
I think I have like good hunches, but I think it's also probably a thing that like I'll keep discovering reasons why like throughout my life. But I think my current hunches on it are just that like it is like an emotional outlet, like in the lyrics, but also in like the instrumentals. It's like an emotional outlet, and I can kind of start just I feel like I've always been someone who like I don't always realize what I mean or like how I'm feeling until I start to say it out loud. And so sometimes like writing lyrics is like helps me understand how I'm feeling about something. But also it's just like it just feels good, you know. It's just like dancing is one of the things I love most in life, and so dance music has always been huge for me, and being able to make it just feels really awesome. And I think I like music enough and like my own music enough that I can just listen to it again and again until I like know what to do with it and get it right. So I don't know. I think it's like, yeah, I think I just love music, and it's just kind of been the thing that sticks around.
Do you play your own music to yourself while you're just jamming? like in the
Yeah,
car?
it's sometimes like I listen to my own stuff a bit too much, or like I would be embarrassed to like admit how often I listen to my own stuff, you know. But yeah, I think it's just also how I work is like I need to like sit with each song for like a really long time, and then like I'll think of a new thing I want to do with it, or yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's pretty dope, man.
Thanks.
I've been thinking about in the past like kind of few days, weeks, but like how to maximize as much as possible out of my like life or my day, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like leave me to this like thought of like, so like theoretically there's this limited amount of resources of wealth or power or listens or views, you know,
Yeah.
and like there's
Right.
only so many that can, you know, there's only so many in existence, and
Mhm.
that you often see is the people at the top are getting majority of it and the people at the
Mhm.
bottom are not getting as much.
Right. Right.
And so I've had this thought. I was like, well, I'm trying to get as much out of my day, but in the same way, I don't want to feel like I'm competing with my neighbor, you know? Like,
Yeah, totally.
are you good?
Oh wait, did something? Sorry, I was putting do not disturb on.
Oh, okay. No, you're good. You
Oh,
just blanked out.
my
Yeah, I
bad.
was trying to just not compete with my neighbor because it feels kind of inhuman to be like, oh, I
Mm.
need to beat this person to get to the next. But in a theoretical sense, you know, we're on this bell curve of like whatever the hell. Do
Hmm.
you think you have to beat a person to get ahead, or is there a different way of looking at it that kind of feels better?
Totally. Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I think like my perspective on it kind of depends what mood I'm in. So like when I'm in a like scary, like the world is terrible and everything's gonna go poorly type mood, I'm like, oh fuck, I suck, and I'm like, you know, so I would maybe have a bad mood or like bad idea about that. But I think generally the way I feel about it is that I don't know. I think that there's not necessarily limited resources when it comes to something as abstract as like attention.
Mm,
Um, like I guess obviously there is a limited resources because there's only so many people and there's only so much time they can spend on things. And when you put yourself into like a sphere, you're like naturally gonna take up space that would be someone else's if you weren't there. Um, so I guess it's both things. I guess like just by nature of being somebody in a space, you're gonna like take away space from somebody else that could be using it. But I don't know. I think you have to trust that you are. I think you have to like work to make sure that you are um, doing something that makes sense for you, first of all, that like feels right to you. And then on top of that, something that you think is positively impacting the space that you're jumping into.
mm,
Um, and I think like with that comes the risk that you might be wrong. Um, and that it might turn out that you're like taking space unnecessarily or like siphoning energy or attention from somebody who deserves it more or something like that. But I think that that's kind of just part of life. And you're if you're not taking space anywhere, then it's just gonna kind of bottle up, and that's not really healthy either. I think it's kind of a balance of respecting yourself and respecting others, and ideally those are able to coexist, which is not always the case, but like that's what you kind of have to work towards, is how I look at it.
gotcha. No, that's fascinating. Um, what there is like a little bit of a gap I do feel with like you're like a purely an artist in a way. Like you're not like on social media and stuff. I don't want to like hype you up too much, but like
okay, thanks.
you
Yeah,
know,
no,
like
that's funny because I definitely suck a little bit, but I do appreciate that.
no, like yeah, like because versus like a social media figure where
I hear you.
themselves are like so in the public light, whereas a lot of artists do all of their shit behind the scenes and then everyone only sees their product.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Totally right.
So if you had there's probably at least going to be like 5 of your fans listening to this point. Like if you were to
Cool.
tell them anything, what
Yeah.
would it be?
Like in terms of
Just, inspire them, make them feel good, make them feel like it's good to be a fan of yours.
oh, that's nice. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you're listening up to this point, then you probably do think it's fun to be a fan of mine. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you listening to my music. And I don't know. I guess I don't know what I would say in that vein specifically, other than just like appreciation. And I don't know. I guess, yeah. I sometimes I like in a thing like this can sometimes make me feel kind of self-conscious and like self-absorbed to like kind of answer. But I guess what is important to realize is that like music has an effect on people, and like I'd be dumb to pretend that like people aren't emotionally affected by my music. So I guess if I want to say something to people who are fans of my music, I'd say 1, thank you. And 2, yeah, just like keep doing what you're doing. And the main thing I've found to help me to keep going is a balance between checking in with myself about what I'm doing, but also then just doing what I'm doing. I think at the end of the day, sometimes I want to like think way too much about what I'm doing and like philosophize, but at the end of the day, like you have to do something, and you're going to make mistakes and you're going to fuck shit up. But like, I think finding a balance between checking in with yourself, but also just doing the thing
is really
important. Yeah.
Sweet.
to be a millennial doing the thing.
Well, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for talking. This was
great.